What is up, everybody? I am your longest reigning current WWE pay-per-view champion, the hot commodity, the one you all came to see and see. And I'm joined by my good friend and co-host. Introduce yourself, sir.
Christian Morales. Let's talk about. I'm excited. We're now on the road to WrestleMania. We're getting closer every day, so let's get it.
Dude, we are like what, like 30 something days away. Like we're not that far. WrestleMania season. Woo! Let's do it. All right. So we are here to cover, we are the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, and we are here to cover WWE Monday Night Raw from February 20th, 2023. Raw is still in Canada. They're in Ottawa, Ontario, and this is the night after Elimination Chamber. And Sami Zayn comes out right after to start off the show. And Sami says, after these past couple of days, I am grateful for the ovation I have received. After coming so close and coming a hair short, I feel a lot of guilt for that. Saying because everyone told me to finish the story, and around here the story is never over. However, we are coming to the final chapter. So Kevin Owens, I love it if you come out now. So Kevin Owens comes out and Sami says, I don't know what I want to say to you. I guess I want to say thank you and I'm sorry. I know we are past the point of words. Sami says, for months you've said all you care about is taking out the bloodline. I will make sure I will see with my eyes Roman Reigns and the bloodline come crumbling down. But we couldn't do it alone. We need to do this together. And Kevin says, I don't want an apology. It had nothing to do with you. I did it for my family. I did it for your family. So they didn't need to see you get hurt like my family did. If you need help taking down the bloodline, ask your buddy Jay. And then Kevin leaves. So let's start right there. Is it should Kevin partner up with Sami? Or is he making the right choice and saying, Sami, I can't really trust you. These past couple of years we've gone at it. Is Kevin making the right choice, or do you think he should be helping out Sami in the long run?
In the long run, he should be helping out Sammy, yes. But in this case, it's kind of vice versa. They've both done it to each other. Um, so you can't really just blame this on one person. Um, it's 6 weeks until WrestleMania. You're just gonna have to keep seeing this story get bigger. I do think it's gonna end up with Kevin Owens eventually, how do I say it? Like, getting a
Deciding to
soft,
join.
yeah, like he'll something will happen where he's like, okay, fuck it, and then they're gonna fight for the tag titles. The only question about this is, because Kevin Owens did mention at the end, go help with your friend Jay. It is interesting, like with the whole Jay Uso shit, because really, Sami Zayn's is not on good terms with all the Bloodline members, really, except Jey Uso.
Yep.
Uh, so I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna see this play, but and if we do see get Owens and Zayn versus the Usos at Mania, which I think is most likely gonna happen, something's gonna have to happen between Jay and Sammy to get Jay really ticked off and want to join his family again. But overall, good start to Smack or sorry, Monday Night Raw. Two Canadians in their country starting off the show, and they're in the main event scene. So good to see.
Me too. I'm glad to see this too, and I think I like the story that we're getting here. It's not rushed. It's not like, okay, Kevin's gonna partner up with Sami. We're gonna get taken like a real life. This year's Mania, the storylines have been pretty good, um,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So after Kevin leaves, Baron Corbin comes out and he attacks Sami Zayn on the ramp. Corbin gets on the mic and says, how did that feel? You interrupted me last week. I'm the last person to beat Roman Reigns. I called it. He destroyed your Elimination Chamber. You came and begged for Kevin's help. Your story is over. You are a complete and utter failure. And that's when Sami Zayn runs down and attacks Baron Corbin. And we get our first match of the night, Sami versus Corbin. Some quick notes here. Sami jumps off the top rope, but Corbin hits a choke slam. Sami nails a flying fist drop. Baron nails a clothesline, and then he attacks the ribs and nails a deep 6 and gets a 2. Sami gets the win after a haluva kick quick in the corner and gets a 3 count. That was a fast haluva kick from Sami. Sammy shutting up Baron Corbin. I always ask what's next for Corbin. We know he's probably just going to keep getting beat up. And we know that Sammy's probably going to team up with Kevin. So I don't really have anything to say about that. I guess my question for you would be, what's going to happen for Corbin at Mania? Do you think he's going to be put in a basic match? I mean, really nothing. He's
I don't
just
think he'll be at Mania.
like, there's really nothing for
I
him.
don't think he'll have a mess. I don't think he'll have a WrestleMania match. I think he'll have a WrestleMania moment, like a WrestleMania not even a WrestleMania moment, a WrestleMania segment,
Okay.
like some corny backstage segment or something. I don't know. I don't see him getting a match at Mania.
Yeah, and this match again was just the match that put over Sami Zayn in his home country. Corbin is really good at just getting beat up, I guess, at this point. So there you go. Kudos to that.
And he's not a bad wrestler.
No,
Like,
he's not.
people don't realize that about him. Like, he heard me say it at the live show because like he responded to me. Like, I told him, like, dude, like, fuck all these people. Like, I fuck with Corbin. Like, it sucks because like there's been so many failed gimmicks over the years. That whole backstage, like when he was Constable, whatever the fuck it was, I thought that was really stupid. But it's just so many failed gimmicks over the past couple of years. So it sucks that they book him like shit. I don't know what's next with JBL. I don't think they'll do anything with him. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
Well, you can't polish a turd. Moving on though, that's what JBL said to Corbin.
I like JBL.
Terrible. We get Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio. They're getting interviewed backstage. And Rhea says, Beth admitted I'm the real deal. I'm focused on WrestleMania now. Dominic says, those has-beens are like my deadbeat dad, talking about Edge and Beth. And Rhea says, Charlotte can keep living in 2020. In the present, I'm the best woman in WWE. Dominic tells Rhea he is going to tag along with her to SmackDown when she faces off against Charlotte face to face because his dad has a match against Cross that night. What do you think about Rhea saying that Charlotte's living in 2020? We do know that Rhea has made a lot of improvements since that match. Do you agree, Rhea, that Charlotte needs to really sort of look at her differently, or should Charlotte kind of still have this attitude like I've beaten you before? It's fine. What do you
Nah,
think?
Rhea's different now. She ain't that same bitch she was in the UK, NXT UK. She wasn't the same girl she was at Mania 2020 when they fought. She's improved a lot, especially this past year. I think she's in her prime right now, personally. She's in her prime, so I think she's fucking unstoppable. I think she'll win.
Yeah, I think we're headed for a good match. The only thing I said this before, I saw Rhea versus Charlotte live and they had a good match. But in my eyes, this shouldn't be a WrestleMania headliner because we've seen this at Money in the Bank. We've seen this at Hell in a Cell. We've seen them fight on pay-per-views that aren't WrestleMania. So to have this match kind of be the big match for the women's title, it's kind of like, well, we've kind of seen it. But listen, we haven't seen this side of Rhea Ripley. She's on top of her game. I'm excited to see what these two powerhouses do at WrestleMania. But speaking of WrestleMania, Austin Theory has an interview, and Theory says, I stepped into the Elimination Chamber with 5 of the best men in WWE. However, the headline says that John Cena is coming back on March 6th. Where is my headline? Theory says, my legacy will live above everyone because I am a forever champion. How's that for a headline? So we've said this before. Christian, I mean, I can be an idiot, but I think we're getting Cena versus Theory at Mania. I guess my question for you is, do you like that? I know we've talked about this, but I mean, that's the only thing I really think of with the segment is he wants to be the headline. Do you think Austin Theory, here's my question. Can Austin Theory one day be as big of a headline as John Cena is?
Absolutely not. I think Theory's good where he's at right now. I'm not saying he won't be world championship material. I just don't think he's like modern day, for example. I don't think he's a Cody Rhodes. I don't think he's an MJF. I don't think he's a Roman Reigns, a Seth Rollins, any one of those guys. Maybe I could be wrong in future. But I don't know. He's a good wrestler. I just think if gimmicks is a big thing. He's not very too over with the crowd like Cena is. So no, there'll never be anyone like John Cena.
Can't see me.
I just wish this match wouldn't be for the title. I also wouldn't have wished they announced Cena coming back, but you know, you got to draw them damn ticket sales somehow, I guess. Um, but I don't know. This is just kind of finally we're getting this after Theory teasing about Cena mocking him past couple months. So
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, I'm excited. I think they'll have a good match, but the problem is with John Cena not competing as much. I don't like it when they become attractions because that's all it will be is an attraction. But they might have a killer match. Who knows? John Cena still might be able to give his theory. Speaking about giving it to each other, our next match we have Mustafa Ali taking on Dolph Ziggler, giving it to each other. Hello, brother. Ali's backstage and he tells Ziggler last week that maybe he should smile some more and maybe Ali will do better. So his gimmick is basically Ali is pretty much saying, like, Dolph, maybe if I'm like you, I'll get more wins. So the match starts. Dolph nails a clothesline and a splash in the corner. However, Dolph misses a famouser and Ali rolls him up for a quick 2-3 count. Mustafa Ali gets the win over Ziggler. What's next for Ali and Ziggler? I mean, these two guys are. I mean,
this is
Ali.
ridiculous.
Yeah, there's really not much of a story.
These guys
for
could
these
have
guys.
had such a great match. These guys could have had a good ass match. Not gonna lie. I think Ziggler should have been the one to win. But they booked these two like shit. I'm not the biggest fan of Ali, but I definitely think these guys could have had a banger match for sure. But this match sucked. I don't know what the fuck the point of this was.
I don't get it. And again, like these random storylines with Ziggler and Ali, like, can we book them for like a actual title match or for something? Because having them fight each other
They
to
would have a
prove it's
good match.
stupid. Yeah,
They're both
agree.
really good sellers. So Ziggler's the best seller in the game.
Speaking of sellers, Hubba Bubba, gonna move on. Maryse and the Miz are backstage, and she sold me when I saw her. I was like, oh, let me stop the world. Basically, Maryse gives the Miz a envelope, and he's like, "This is the best gift I've ever received. I'm going to talk about it next week on Raw." And Miz basically says that I molded Logan Paul into the superstar he is, and I'm basically the reason for why Seth got attacked. If it wasn't for him, Logan would be able to do anything. But I guess my question for you is, what do you think is in that envelope?
I have no idea. Good question. Got no idea.
Maybe it's another baby, who knows? Or maybe it's Maryse's number and I can get it afterwards and give her a call. Hubba bubba, that'd be pretty fun, wouldn't it? But I
Oh
highly
my
doubt
god,
that.
yeah, I'd have a great time.
Ooh, Maryse. She is my end all be all, man. All right, speaking of end all be alls, Cody Rhodes is out next, and he's got his big match at WrestleMania against Roman Reigns. And Cody says so. And before he can talk, Paul Heyman shows up on the Titantron, and Paul's wearing a huge neck brace after getting that stunner from Kevin Owens at Elimination Chamber. Paul says, "Oh wait, where is that? 1 second, I lost my little train of thought here." Great. Okay. So Paul says, "Why don't you come out here?" Or I'm sorry, Cody says, "Why don't you come out here, Mr. Heyman, and face me?" Paul says, "I don't know if you are aware, but I was mauled by a Kodiak and suffered to the miserable Canadian healthcare system. And I can't come out because I'm in a neck brace." Basically, Paul says, I assure you, time tragedy of the story will be okay. The true tragedy of the story will befall upon you. Man to man, you can't beat Roman Reigns." Paul says, "Let's play fantasies. Let's say the devil collects my debt. Let's say you win at WrestleMania. What will your life be like? You will be formatted to indentured servitude. Roman had a special counsel. He had Paul Heyman, so he didn't need to go through that." He says, "With you, what did your brother say? That your father was never home? That the first question for you is that the sacrifice you are willing to make to become champion? Roman Reigns is a happily married man, but I'm not." What's up, baby? We getting interrupted, I think. Or no, maybe we're not. Hello, that was fun. This is why we're uncensored. Sorry. So Paul says, "I'll keep your wife warm." And then Cody says, "Roman, you are without a doubt the greatest champion in WWE history. I have to finish the story and I will beat you at WrestleMania. So Paul is trying to play mind games with Cody, saying that he's going to sleep with his wife. Cody's not falling for it. What did you think of this promo between Paul and Cody? Do you think it's like smart of Cody? Obviously, it's smart of Cody not to pay attention to Paul, but do you think eventually it's going to catch up with him and Cody's going to start to believe some of Paul's comments?
No. These two guys have been in the game for so long where it's this, especially if you know Paul Heyman, you know not to necessarily trust him when you're against him. I don't think Cody will fall for any of that bullshit. I thought this promo was very good. Two guys that are excellent on the mic. Paul Heyman's amazing on the mic. Um, I wish he would have been there in person to have this promo. I thought the first promo they had was better than this one. But it's still good. Um, I'm tired kind of seeing Heyman and Cody kind of go at it. I think it's 6 weeks into WrestleMania, gotta have Roman Reigns show up and have him go at it. If he's gonna lose the belt, have him fucking show up as much as you can at this point.
Yeah, because I mean, if he loses the belt, you know for sure he's not going to
He's
show up for
already
a
not
while.
booked for Money in the Bank,
Yeah.
so he's already
Well,
not gonna be booked for SummerSlam unless he loses. Then he'll lose the titles at SummerSlam. But we'll say that for another day.
dude, I hope I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I kind of hope he loses at Mania, to be honest. I want to see a new champion, but we'll see. We'll see. Cody has to end the story first, right? So next, we have our women in action. Nikki Cross taking on Asuka, and the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair comes out, and we know that Asuka will take on Bianca Belair at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's title. Here are some notes from this match. Asuka nails a running boot, and nails 3 Germans to Nikki and gets a 2 count. Asuka hits a DDT from the second rope and gets a 2. Nikki nails a modified Michinoku driver and gets a 2 count. Asuka applies an armbar and Nikki gives up. After the match, Bianca Belair comes into the ring and stares down Asuka. Asuka then starts to spit up this blue goose, and Bianca looks nervous. So I guess my question is, should Bianca be hesitant um, leading into this match?
Listen, yeah, hell yeah. Look, Asuka didn't have her WrestleMania moment against Charlotte at when they fought in New Orleans, her rookie year. She didn't have a WrestleMania moment. I'm trying to think when else she fought at WrestleMania. I don't think she fought really at WrestleMania after that, if I'm not wrong.
No, I don't think so.
So I think it's her time. Um, Bianca's she's just like Hangman Adam Page. How I feel about him as champion. I like Bianca Belair, but when she's champion, it's so hard to cheer for her. Like I cheer for her when she's not the champion, just like Hangman. Like I cheer for them when they're not. That's how I feel about Bianca Belair. I don't think she's a good champ, and not good champion, but entertaining champion. I don't think she makes that Raw Women's title anything worth. I don't think any of these women's champions in any and in Raw or SmackDown make the championship worth anything. Um, if Mandy Rose was still around, I'd say the NXT title, women's title would be the only relevant one. But yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be again. I keep saying the word banger, but this WrestleMania is so far booking wise pretty decent.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to see. I was just reading a little bit about WrestleMania. It seems that like they're not gonna have as many wrestlers on the card. It's just gonna be the basic matches instead of just putting everyone in a match just to have it. But I will tell you, I am excited though to see Asuka and Bianca. We haven't seen the two of them really go at it. This will be a really hyped up match at Mania, and you have the Empress versus the EST. So I'm excited to see which one is going to take the lead at Mania. Moving on though, we have Carmella backstage, and she basically challenges her to a match, her being Asuka. We then see Seth Rollins backstage, and Seth says, Logan Paul thinks it's a game. Logan, the joke's on you. Anyone who's gone in my way knows my dark side. I'm going to find Logan Paul and hurt him. Miz, you'll be a great surrogate for suffering. So he's going after Paul, but he's going to end up hurting the Miz first. We'll then move on to MVP with Omos. MVP says, Brock, you, sir, are a coward. You didn't escape Bobby Lashley. You couldn't escape the hurt lock from Bobby Lashley, so you got yourself disqualified. Omos is challenging you to a match at WrestleMania. Face him if you have the fortitude. What are your thoughts on that? Give me your quick thoughts, and then I'm gonna as you do that, I have to go send this out. So what are your thoughts on Omos possibly taking on Brock Lesnar?
Alrighty. I'm hoping for another opponent for Lesnar. We don't see Omos too much. There's no reason for these guys to really go at it. I think we need to see a little bit of another Lashley versus a Lashley versus Lesnar match, street fight, whatever it is. Well,
I
Anthony.
agree, and I'm here.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna take a quick break, and then when we come back, Renee, I'm gonna give you my thoughts on that whole Omos and Lesnar situation. But we're gonna be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We just took our first break of the night, and we are the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am the hot commodity, the WWE pay-per-view champion, walking into WrestleMania excited. I'm joined by my good friend and co-host, who it seems like he's in an episode of the movie The Crow. I said an episode. Some flickering lights happening here. What's up, brother?
I'm currently having my background. I don't know why my lights not on. But I currently have in my background Roman Reigns and Lesnar at SummerSlam. So
there you go.
That's why
bringing
the
it
lights
back.
are like that.
Hey,
But
respect.
I'm Christian. Back at it again, talking about Monday Night Raw. Again, just to briefly quick up what I said. I think we should get a Lashley versus Lesnar match, street fight at WrestleMania. I don't really want to see Omos versus Lesnar.
Yeah. I hope it's a swerve. I hope that they just have Lashley attack Omos Lashley attack Lesnar on Raw. We'll see. Again, Omos just doesn't do it for me, so I hope that's
how real quick, because I saw that dude front row when I went to the live show. He is tall as fuck. He walked right next to me, dude. Holy shit, I was terrified.
His fucking hand is huge. So listen,
massive.
He's a big dude, but it's just like you don't want to watch a Jolly Green Giant. Ooh, good, you know, like so. It's like he is a big dude. He is a big dude. Our next match, so we have Seth Rollins taking on The Miz. Here are some notes from this one. Miz with the DDT and gets a 2 count. Miz hits a code breaker out of the corner and gets a 2. Seth punches The Miz's back and nails 3 stomps, and the referee stops the match due to Rollins's continued attack. Rollins gets the victory by pretty much knockout. What does this mean for Logan Paul? Should Logan Paul be nervous?
No. As much as I like Logan Paul in WWE, I don't think he should be nervous. This should be a banger. If Logan Paul really trains his ass off for this WrestleMania, these two could have a great match. I'm not gonna lie. Logan Paul's been in WWE. He's only had like 3 matches, and he's super impressive as a celebrity wrestler. He's really impressive. So, him working with Seth, I've said this before. Him working with Seth Rollins is just gonna make him even better, because Seth Rollins is one of the best wrestlers in the business. So it's gonna be exciting to see this feud. But we need to see them two go at it face to face at one point too.
Listen, I'm just excited to see I'm excited to see Seth fuck up for Logan. Speaking of fucking people up, we have Ding Dong Hello with Bayley and the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Damage Control. Bayley says, welcome to Ding Dong Hello. Since we are in Canada, today is family day, and I decided to spend my day with my family, Damage Control. He says, these idiots don't love you the way I do. You're so underappreciated. How does it feel to be the greatest tag team champions of all time? Dakota says, we have been on every show. We've been champions for 100 days and will be for 100 days more. That's when Becky Lynch comes out, and Becky says, greatest tag team champions, those titles are getting dusty. You never defend them. I had a plan, and this plan is to take those 2 titles at WrestleMania. Becky says, you and who? Your daughter, Rue? Becky says, there is one person that can come out and help me. And Lita shows up, Hall of Famer. They walk through, and they end up walking through the ding door ditch door. Becky says, you don't even work here. Lita says, do you remember she's like, she goes, you don't even work here, Lita. Do you remember the last time you got involved with Becky? You both tried to end each other. Lita says, we're past that. I had my sights set on those titles, but I like this plan of walking into WrestleMania as champions. We want a tag match. So he says, you're not even close to having a title shot. And Becky says, Lita's a Hall of Famer, 4-time champion. We're the greatest to ever do it. Maybe you're scared to defend those titles. Bailey says they're not scared, they accept. And then Lita and Becky pull the titles off of Damage Control and hold them up. So we have Becky Lynch and Lita to take on the women's tag champions, Damage Control, next week on Raw. What are your thoughts on Lita coming out to help her former enemy, Becky Lynch?
This is stupid. What the fuck is Lita doing back here? Go home.
I love Lita.
Watch the show from your couch.
No, listen, Lita's gonna go in there and kick ass. Lita's gonna go in
lose.
there.
Why would they win? There'd be no point of them winning. This is stupid. This is I don't understand.
Well, maybe Trish will come. Maybe I have a feeling they're gonna do some kind of like. Obviously, Becky and Lita aren't gonna win, but something's gonna happen, and I don't know what. But I think you have to use someone like Lita, who the fans love. I don't know. I just think she can still do it. So I still think she's good. I mean, you got Dana Brooke out there, so I mean, why not Lita? But I hear what you're saying. It's kind of pointless if you know already what's going to happen. But I am excited to get former Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer Lita on.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Keeping it moving, we see Candice LeRae backstage when she sees Nikki Cross. She runs up to Nikki and she says, "You've been following me around for months. Why are you following me?" Nikki whispers something in Candice's ear, and Candice tells the interviewer that Nikki said all her friends are gone and she's alone. And then she's about to say something else, and then the camera pans out. So I can ask you about your thoughts on this, but we have no idea what's going to happen between these two. So I might as well just leave it there with Nikki has some kind of weird obsession with Candice. Next, we got Bronson Reed taking on Chad Gable with Otis at ringside. Chad nails a diving headbutt and gets a 2. Maxine Dupree comes out and she gives Otis her card. And Chad is distracted and gets hit with a running splash in the corner by Bronson. And Bronson nails a tsunami for 3. Bronson Reed is impressive. The breakup of Alpha Academy is starting. Otis, what do you think? Are you excited for Chad Gable to do a singles career?
Yeah, if he doesn't get booked when to lose.
Yeah, you're right.
I've been wanting to see Chad Gable as a singles competitor.
I agree. I mean, listen, I think Bronson Reed, you knew he was going to win. You have to have a reason for Chad to get mad at Otis. This is a reason why. But I do agree. He needs to get booked to win, because if he does, he'll be a great Intercontinental or U.S. champion down the line for sure. Before we take our second break, do you have something to add? Go ahead.
No, I was agreed.
Before we take our second break, I want to go over this quick promo. Elias is in the ring, and Elias says, there is time. This is the time when stars are made. There's no bigger star than Elias, and Rick Boogs should take notes. Who wants to walk with Elias at WrestleMania? And that's when Bobby Lashley comes out, and Lashley just attacks Elias, nails him with a spear, puts on the Hurt Lock, and Lashley says, everybody has a plan until I slap it on the Hurt Lock. Brock panicked and resorted to a low blow. Nobody breaks the Hurt Lock, and if you disrespect me, I'm going to put you down. So Bobby is still not done with Brock. He wants another chance to shut him up. I guess I can ask you, I mean, we've already talked about this. We both want to see a straight fight between Brock and Lashley at Mania. So I guess, we can just hopefully see what happens tomorrow night on Raw. We get an interview from Edge backstage, and Edge says youth comes with ignorance. With age comes wisdom. All of this can be taken away before I smack the damn face off of Austin Theory. I'm running out of time here, and I haven't performed in Ottawa in 18 years. It would feel real good to win the U.S. Championship here. Never say never. And we have our main event, the United States Champion Austin Theory versus Hall of Famer Edge. And this is a really good match, Christian. Edge nails a Russian leg sweep and gets a 2. Edge then backdrops Theory outside and nails a flying clothesline off the apron and gets a 2 count. Theory drop toe holds Edge into the post and nails a through the rip drop kick and gets a 2. Edge hits execution and gets a 2 count. Edge nails a sit out power bomb and gets a 2 as well. Edge applies a crossface, but Theory gets his foot on the ropes. Balor runs out and kicks Edge in the face, and Theory nails an A-Town down and gets a 3 count. After the match, Finn Balor attacks Edge. He nails a coup de grace, and then Finn Balor says, "This ain't over. It's just the beginning." And he lands another coup de grace. So good match. What are your thoughts on the match? And listen, Balor's not done with Edge. What are your thoughts?
Edge versus Balor at Mania is happening. This is a very, very good match. We knew Edge wasn't going to win, but it would have been cool for him to get a win in his home country. The United States Championship, I think, is the most prestigious title in WWE. It should change at WrestleMania, but Balor did a good job coming in. Did his thing here when he came in. I hope they do some type of stipulation match with this rivalry at WrestleMania, but again, good match. We know what's next for both of these superstars. These guys won't see each other down the line ever again. So it's on to Finn and Edge at Mania, but good
Yeah,
main
dude.
event.
I'm excited. I mean, this whole Judgment Day was created at Mania, a perfect way to end it. With 2 minutes left, because I figured we could end it here. Tell me, what was your moment of the night for this episode of Raw?
I'm gonna say the opening segment with Sami Zayn and Kevin, just because it's a kind of a cliffhanger to start the show.
Yeah,
So
man. I was like, I'm excited for if they do have a tag match because Kevin and Sammy are great friends. It was a great cliffhanger. They're in Canada. For me, man, I was excited to see Lita come back. I know that wasn't really entertaining, but anytime I see someone that I grew up with, I get excited to see. We are officially on the road to WrestleMania. I know I said that last time, but we are now kicking it into high gear. We have SmackDown recap coming our way. Revolution's coming up soon, March 5th. Excited for that. Christian, you are a killer. I appreciate you, my friend,
yes,
for
sir.
killing it. You have a chance at my title again at WrestleMania. Ain't gonna happen though. We're gonna be live in Los Angeles, killing it. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and stay safe and stay uncensored. Bye, y'all.